That's my jam. Okay, here let's get. All right, here we have another sprint takeover today. Coasts Ablaze by James Woodwright. We'll get into this. This looks like it is another article for the plant competition on World Anvil. All right. Okay, we have a picture of it. Okay, and pretty straightforward. All right, structure. All right. In a genetics research laboratory for plants in southern Spain grew an orange aloe vera plant. One day, a scientist recorded audio nearby. They could hear buzzing in their recording of records and experimentation, something that would not be heard in a quiet room. I am the orange. The plants appeared to be growing well. A recording of a scientist in the orange room. Okay. Okay. Opening sentences are a challenge, and this one here, I would probably reverse it. You have the subject and the predicate of a sentence. The subject is what you're talking about, the predicate is everything else. In this, what you have here is you have the subject and predicate reversed. You have the orange aloe vera plant is the subject of the sentence. In a genetics research laboratory for plants in southern Spain, that is the predicate. And so you have your predicate and subject. I would reverse those and put the subject first and then the predicate later. And because this is the first thing you're talking about, today's article we're talking about is not a genetics laboratory in southern Spain. We're talking about the orange aloe vera. And so I would because the first thing that you talk about is what the person will attach to. Okay, so an orange aloe vera plant grew in a genetics research laboratory for plants in southern Spain. See, there you're, boom, right off the bat, you're talking about the subject of it. One day, a scientist recorded audio nearby. One day, I'd probably one day, comma, as a scientist recorded audio nearby. That way, it just makes the parenthetical stand out a little bit more. One day, they could hear buzzing in their recording of records and experimentation. Okay, again, recording and records, they're two very similar words in the same sentence. So I would probably find another way to say that to avoid stumbling on that like I did. Something that would not be heard in a quiet room. But then you go into the quote. That is good. Curious about what it could be, they assumed the device was breaking, so made a test recording in a quiet corridor. The buzzing sound was not there. The scientists then tested what it could be and started testing the equipment in separate rooms to make sure the recording only picked up the equipment. All attempts failed, and they tested the plants. Okay. All right. They found it to be the orange aloe vera plants making the sound, but they could not hear the plant without the recording device. They leave the plant with the device for a period of 10 minutes. Only the recording has been made. Once the recording has been made, they pitch the recording so they can be heard by us more clearly. Okay. Again, when you put the predicate at the first, you need to have a comma to do it. They found it to be making this sound. Okay, and again, only one. I do like to have the one thing. Unless there's a real reason why you need to have it together, you know, they found it to be the orange vowel plant making the sound. Period. Okay, and then you just go get rid. I would get rid of the pronouns, especially in the first sentence of a paragraph. The scientists, because yeah, I don't know. I would just avoid using pronouns. I'm giving you a technical edit, not a fiction edit, if that makes sense. We talked a lot about voice during Sable Aradia's uh, article Takeover, because she was she was using the voice of Napoleonic thing, where this one I'm just going back and defaulting to the technical manual. Okay, so okay, the resulting tonal sounds sounded. Okay, so the resulting tonal sounds sounded like religious chanting, similar to Gregorian chanting. Okay, so I would just say the resulting tones, and just say the resulting tones. You don't need to say the tonals sounds sounded. You can just say the resulting tones sounded like religious um, and you don't even need to bring in religious in here. You could just say human chanting, tonal sounds resounding. No. Tones were reminiscent of Gregorian plain song. Okay, I like that one, Sudan. Is plain song another word for chanting? Because when I think of chanting, I don't think of the melodical tones of Gregorian chanting. I think of more primal, indigenous chanting. So if plain song means what I think it means, then I like that word plain song. But Gregorian chanting is an actual thing that is very reminiscent. So I would. I'm sorry if I'm being overly picky here, James. Um, it was decided that. Oh, now this is going to be interesting. It was decided that the world didn't need to know of this discovery with the controversies of humanity playing God, and they certainly didn't want another religious conflict. So the discovery was buried. All right, so here you are, interestingly, you are capitalizing religious conflict. If this is a proper name, and um, I would put a tooltip here or a link to an article that plain song was the music sung by monks. Okay. Yeah, shamanic chanting sounds are very different than Gregorian plain song. But see, I think James is going for the Gregorian plain song, and Gregorian chanting is a good description. So oh, you could just, okay, instead of religious chanting, you could say religious plain song, similar to Gregorian chant. I like that. No, it helps it can help with the sounds sounded like couldn't fix. Okay. So I do like that religious plain song. I really like that. Similar to Gregorian chanting. So you can say the idea twice without using the same words. Because if you're saying something twice with the same words, don't. Say it once with one words. And oh, very good, Emily. You could, James, you could find, if you can find a public domain Gregorian chant or something released in the Creative Commons, Wiki Commons, you might be able to, yeah, you could link that. I capped it because I thought it was a grammar thing. Okay, the grammar thing is if you capitalize something, it means it's an actual event. It's a proper noun. It refers to something specific. A religious if you're just talking about the generic concept of religious conflicts, then it would be lowercase. But if you're like there is the great schism in history, capitalized G, capitalized S. The great schism is when the Eastern and Western, the Roman Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox split. Okay, that was the Great Schism. So if you say a schism with a capital S, you're referring to that. But if you use schism with a lower, you're just referring to any time a group splits up. Okay, so, okay, you uncapped it. Good. Like your great rewind. I mean, there was a you could call the Dark Ages a rewind based on the world that you have, but the Great Rewind is your specific alternate history event. As years passed, the plant thrived in Spain. Thrived, but Spain did not, due to the cultural malaise of the Great Rewind. The building was left abandoned and caught by luck. The building's backup powers came on, allowing the plant to thrive further. Without humanity there to clean up new shoots, the plant took over the room and seeds started sprouting. Soon spread outside as an air filter was broken due to the course of time. Um, yeah. I don't know if you need to say due to the broken time, during the course of time. If you're looking to shorten this article, I think you could shorten this paragraph by um, the building was left abandoned and caught by luck. The building backup power came on, allowing the plant to thrive further. Why does backup power? Uh, why would a plant thrive because of backup power? So I don't get that. That's a logical question I don't understand. Since the plant is in the family of aloe vera, the plant prefers hot, arid weather, so they liked being in southern Spain and grew along coastlines. A hydroponics bay. Oh, okay, that's true. Um, the I would probably get rid of the word they and well, no, actually, maybe they would be a good because they seem to have some intelligence. It just depends on how much personification or anthropomorphization that you want to give this plant. Because this, you can say the plant species thrives in southern Spain and along coastlines, as opposed to saying they liked, meaning you're implying that it's a they, which means it has personality, and liked, meaning they have preference. So if you're trying to personify this aloe vera plant, fine. But if it is just a plant, then I would probably remove the concept of adding human emotions to the plants. Okay. One fateful day, a mother and a son were walking along the coastline of Spain. During this walk, the son had burnt himself on some hot metal. The mother, finding something that she thought was aloe vera, helped her son with the burn. Okay, the mother, comma, okay, the mother helped her son with the burn. That's the whole sentence. And then this finding something she thought was aloe vera, that's your parenthetical phrase. Okay. By cutting a shoot off the plant and rub the open end to the burn with his hand, the burn on his hand in the hope of helping your son. Okay. By cutting a shoot off the plant and rubbed the open end to the burn on his hand in the hope of helping your son. Okay, personification, one of my tropes. It's a plant. It has no sentience. Okay. I would change this to she cut a shoot off the plant and rubbed the open end to the burn on his hand in the hopes of helping your son. This word by, yeah, the tenses are a little bit weird. Let's turn off. Okay, got another sprint going. Some aloes are orange, also purple. Okay. Okay. Finding something she thought was aloe vera. The result didn't help his son or hinder him. You have it. You have established that it was a mother, so helped her son or hinder him. But he found his hand to be tackier, unlike the green type his mother uses. Yeah, that I think Luther Pendragon has a good point. You're inconsistent in your tense structure. Some of it's present, some of it's past. For this article, I would recommend just making everything past tense. Unlike the green type his mother used. Okay. Once the mother found this, she went back to find more of the plant and experimented further, which resulted in a glue substitute, alloglutinum. Glutinum. It was cultivated for these useful resources. The product can be found in many parts of the world, and the plant is found in arid lands. Similar to Spain. Is Spain really that arid? Because I thought the rain in Spain fell mainly on the plain. Anyone get that reference? Please tell me someone got that reference. One of my favorite musicals. Oh, Southern Southern Spain is arid, close to Morocco. Okay. Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. Oh no! Did I start? Did I start a tongue twister competition? All right, plant attributes. Why can't the English teach their children to speak? Okay, plant attributes. The plants most, again, don't capitalize this. The plant's most widely used Latin name, alloglutinum, which comes from the idea that the plant comes from the family of aloe plants and that it can be made into glue. Its nickname, Coast Ablaze, comes from the idea that the plant lives on the coast, where whenever the sunlight hits the plant, it gives the appearance that the coast is on fire. Upon arriving from ships to give assistance to fight the fires, would see alloglutinum plants. Okay. Um, this needs to. There's some grammar issues here. The plants. Yeah. I would make these sentences a lot shorter and really focus your sentences to be a lot shorter. Um, the plant's most commonly used Latin name was alloglutinum. Period. This comes from the. Uh, this comes from. This is due to its resemblance to the other aloe plants. Period. Glutinum refers to its tacky substance that can be used as a glue. Period. Another name, then new paragraph. Because you're talking about a second name. Another nickname, Coasts Ablaze. You see, need to shorten the sentences, please. Okay, the plant gets its food from the song it makes. The insects, such as flies, hear the song and are enticed into flying near the plant. Once landing on the plant, which is orange, the color, which means food to insects. The insects would then eat the plant, which is poisonous to the insects. The insect then dies near the plant base and gets absorbed. Oh. This is the reasoning behind the second well-known name, Allosyren, from the Greek myth of the sirens that entice sailors' ships to crash. Okay, yes, Sudan, this is a very, very interesting mechanism, a song to attract insects. However, the original story that you have here is that the idea of the plant being able to sing was buried. So, how did it get the name of the aloe siren if nobody knows that it sings? I love the idea of a plant singing to get ants to die near it. Okay, I really like that idea. But was the idea, I mean, because all the from the fiction that is here, it sang, but they didn't tell anybody about it. The mom discovered it was sticky, and that's what it's known for. So, how did humans ever rediscover that it was um, that it was producing the chants. Uh, well, I would just figure out a way for people to discover it again. I think that would be good. But during the Great Rewind, it may be difficult if they don't have electronics to be able to record it. It may be difficult to be able to understand it unless it's like a dog whistle. If insects can hear the song, can a dog? And if a dog, dogs go crazy around this plant because of the humming that a dog can hear, but a human cannot. Insects can hear it, but a human cannot. And the because of its negative effects on dogs, it was discovered that it was discovered again that it was emitting songs. So that I would look into that. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish getting through this thing because of time we have left. Since Coast's Ablaze, okay, so here you didn't capitalize it, so there's um, okay, the behavior of insects near the plant leads them to call the plant aloe siren. But do they know why the insects were attracted to it? Because siren is a very specific thing. But yeah, I'm glad that if that's, they discovered it, that the insects were attracted to the plant, but um, did they ever discover why? I would just reference it saying, I'll, you know, it was never discovered again. I don't know. This, yeah. Okay. Oops. Earbud. I hate it when that happens. Hurts my ears when I accidentally rip these things out. These are those one hook things that go over the ear. Yeah. Okay. Sorry you can't finish this article, James, because it is time for me to end. But here's my recommendation. I would go through it again, make everything past tense, make everything shorten the sentences, simplify the sentences. Uh, unless you have a very specific reason, make it subject predicate is my recommendation. And yeah, good stuff. Let me go through here and like it. Okay. So yeah, today was a very different type of stream where we were able to have some great articles and have them critiqued.